everyone, and welcome back to Katawa Shoujo! Last time, we went to the park with Shizune's younger brother, and then the next day we met her dad, and now it's a whole new day, so no more talking, let's jump in! I've been neglecting my sign language studies, so I should probably spend some time studying up on it. Although I think I've learned a lot just by osmosis. I'm very proud of that, and will have to be careful not to brag about it. Most of the books I brought with me aren't manuals on using sign language, but studies about the different signing dialects. I know Shizune has some secret signals with Misha that only the two of them know the meaning of. After seeing a couple of them, this book caught my eye in the school library. Maybe I should incorporate some examples into my own signing to mess with them, because I'm pretty sure they have started using their code words more often when I started using the sign language. Jeez, where did often come from? That will teach them! After a quick break for a shower, I resumed practicing my signing in the guest room mirror. Yesterday I crashed my fingers against each other pretty hard. Ouch. That's gotta hurt. Still smart, and I don't want a repeat of that to happen again. Oh, hello, Hideaki. I hear knocking on the door behind me and turn to find Hideaki standing inside the doorway staring at me. How polite of him to knock, but usually you don't open the door first.
What are you doing?
I'm practicing sign language. How long have you been standing there?
I did not see anything.
That isn't the point. I don't even know what he means by that. It's not like I was doing something that I would be ashamed to have people see me doing. Although, sign language must look strange to most people. I'm only used to it from being around Shizune and Misha so much. I'm brushing up on my sign language and reading about it too. Stuff like the history of it, even though they cover it in sign language class.
Your school teaches sign language as class?
Yeah, one of the first things they brought up was that it's not very common to do that. I guess we're very international or something.
It looks fun.
Well, you want me to teach you? Well, I wouldn't call it fun.
If you do not enjoy this, it must seem like a lot of work to go through just to talk to my sister.
Why does everyone keep saying that? Hideaki's mouth twitches like he was about to laugh, but he restrains himself. Come to think of it, he hasn't laughed once since I met him. I could take it as a compliment that he doesn't laugh at me, but I'm curious to see it. Laugh! Laugh, boy!
Why?
Another why question. Why did the music fade so suddenly? It was the fastest and most direct way I could think of towards accomplishing my goal.
Can you teach me sign language?
He says it plainly, but his body language is nervous, showing that he clearly needs to put some effort in to ask. I guess Hideaki likes his sister after all. I think Misha is a lot more approachable though, so I wonder why he didn't ask her. Secretly, I'm shouting, "Yes!" inside. I had thought he had wanted to learn sign language and even brought it up, but he had evaded the subject skillfully. It turns out I was right after all. I don't really know why this makes me so pleased. Sure. But now that I think about it, I'm not a sign language teacher. I don't even know where to start. In class, I'd be learning stuff gradually over a week. Does Hideaki expect me to teach him anything useful in a one-day crash course? My teacher spent a couple days just giving a history of sign language. I decided to start off with that to buy some time while I figure out how I can segue it into the hard stuff. 5 minutes in, Hideaki raises his hand. Yes, you have a question?
I don't understand what you are doing.
Well, you can't just jump into teaching, you know? You have to ease into it. It's like when you go swimming, you don't just jump in the lake like in some movie. True.
I do not swim.
It's like scientists manage to create a process to suck out all the hyperactive, infuriating, and childish qualities of a small child and then implant them into the dad, creating a raging jerk dad and leaving behind Hideaki. I begin to feel claustrophobic, despite the fact that the guest room is 3 times bigger than my dorm room and there's just 2 of us in here. It's all in my head, I know it, and I don't care. I still use it as an excuse to move the lesson outside. Ooh, this looks nice. It's a lot easier to concentrate out here. Even the precious few seconds it took to relocate managed to allow me to sort my thoughts. There were no questions during this time. Hideaki can't seem to talk and walk at the same time. Eventually, however, I start to realize that if I'm going to teach him anything, I have to keep the lesson constantly moving. The second there's an opening for it, he'll ask a question, which will lead to more questions. Then there's no end to it. The second time he asks me why a certain hand motion means what it does, and I have to reach deep into my memory to look for etymology I don't know about. A gesture I only knew about a month longer than him, I start looking for an out. Hideaki, let's take a break.
Okay. What is your school like?
This kid is like a little reporter, but it makes sense for someone his age to be curious, and it's this one question I don't mind. What's it like? I never really thought about it. It's on top of this mountain, so it feels kind of isolated and lonely up there sometimes, even though that's also why it has a pretty great view. The students there are interesting. Actually, I felt bad at first. You know what kind of school it is, right?
Yes.
I felt bad because I didn't want to go there. I don't even remember exactly what I was thinking at the time. Probably it was something like a school for crippled people would be a depressing place. They were telling me to go to be forgotten there. Then everyone there was just living their lives for the most part. So I felt even worse. It wasn't different at all, so I felt like kind of a jerk. Shizune was the first person I met. She's in most of my classes. Misha too, they're always together. I guess the school is accommodating enough to pair them up as much as possible. There's this girl in my class, Hanako, whom I feel bad for. She has these burns and seems to have a complex about them. But I think she looks fine. She's a cute girl. I'm friends with Lily too. You know Lily, right? Does she bring up Hanako?
Yes, sometimes.
I'm trying to remember who else is interesting. We have a little track star Ace who runs on these prosthetics. And we have a painter who paints with their feet. Oh, he's actually bringing her up. There's this one girl, Reen, who doesn't have arms, but she's a great painter. All of her art has this harsh, alive quality. Have you ever been to Yamaku? You've probably seen some of it hanging around. A little weird sometimes, but I've always heard that artistic and creative types are like that. That reminds me, the guy who lives across the hall from me is pretty weird too. But he can be interesting, at least. That's one way to put it.
You are also interesting.
Is that bad? And what's with that tone? What does that even mean? Are you saying I'm weird, Hideaki?
You talk a lot.
I'm trying to explain things to you! My first instinct was to go on the defensive, but the more I think about it, he has a point. I mean, you are trying to explain things, but it was kind of a lengthy explanation. That's right, I do talk a lot. I don't think I used to. I think it's probably because of all the time I spent around Shizune and Misha. Talking with them, I get caught up in all their circular logic and just how they do everything. I feel like I'm going to be drowned out or left behind.
My sister can drown you out?
It's not like she's literally talking over me and stuff, obviously. It's hard to explain. They have more energy than I do. It's like an aggressiveness. I don't feel like I have to match it, but I want to. I think maybe your sister has that effect on people. Do you look up to your sister? He stares at me blankly, tense and confused as to how to react to the question.
I will be better than Shizune.
Better at what?
At everything.
I think the music stopped again.
Like what?
Oops.
I can do magic tricks.
You mean telling people you've got their nose, or maybe the kind of magic where you pull a rabbit out of your butt? He doesn't look happy. Someday, one of these some days, I will see Hideaki laugh. I might just try tickling him if I have to. Oh, what the heck was that? The back door flies open and Chiguro strides out of it, keeping his back straight and taking giant, slow, regal strides. Either a king or a huge jackbutt. I try to turn away, using the train of logic that if I can't see him, he can't see me. Hisao, talking from experience, that doesn't work. Unfortunately, it doesn't pan out, and he comes over so fast, it's like he appeared out of the air over my shoulder.
Oh! What's up here? What are you two doing, flailing your hands around? Playing cat's cradle with, like, a bunch of girls?
I'm teaching Hideaki some sign language. What about you, Mr. Hakamichi? He narrows his eyes suspiciously, as if he's not used to people being polite to him.
I'm writing an autobiography of my life and times. And by writing, I mean I am dictating it to my biographer. Unfortunately, she is running late. Unprofessional. Perhaps you should read it when it is published later this year. I can put you on the waiting list. Maybe it will give you the moral compass that you seem to lack in your life and inspire you to stop sucking. Jeez!
It can't be sustainable for him to be so casually insulting to everyone. Though Hideaki is likely to detached to notice Shizune's death, and most of the insults must fly over Misha's head. But surely Akira must have an opinion on this. I try not to think about it. If he is doing this to psych me out, then I have to stay calm or he wins. He must absolutely, definitely not win. This must be how Shizune feels. How old are you?
46!
That doesn't seem old enough to justify writing a biography. I mean, that's not even old. Don't most people start writing their memoirs a lot later than that?
Shut up, boy! I am going to give you advice. Do not talk about matters of age with people older than you. You're less than half my age. You have no right to talk about old. I have an ulcer older than you.
He should get that checked out. Agreed. He might have a point though. He is definitely older than I am.
Either way, even if we were the same age, I wouldn't have to explain myself to you, sweater vest. Why do you make that noise? Are you mad? Well, obviously. Good. Your sweater is terrible, and I want you to feel bad about it. The burn tells me it's working.
Wow. What about your shirt? I like my sweater.
I sure you like huffing glue, too. That doesn't make it right.
How can you assume that?
I don't huff glue.
Where did you get that impression that I do?
That is slander.
I wonder how Hideaki knows what slander is. Maybe Jigoro is a lawyer. I can sort of see that, though I thought only TV lawyers were this antagonistic. I don't know if I should take the chance and ask if that's his job. He's right. It is slander. Are you a lawyer?
I was guessing. I guess based on the fact that you are stupid. It's like how you are assuming I am a lawyer, except you have no reason to think that. If you want to know why I do so badly, why don't you pre-order my autobiography? Now you're insulting my book, and by extension, my entire life. What gives you the right to do that? Arrogant. I'm trying to think of how I can make you understand my struggle. Maybe by beating you. With my autobiography.
Okay! I'm going to leave now.
I hope you walk away from the beating having learned a valuable lesson. Like, not making assumptions. Assault. Yeah! Thank you, Hideaki. This is assault.
But he made an assumption, too, that I left glue. I consider calling him out on this glaring example of hypocrisy, but I don't think it's worth it. He would probably explain his way out of it by saying,
Shut up, boy!
You know, if I was Hisao, I'd probably call him out on it. But at the same time, he has a point there.
Back in my day, children were seen and not heard. And to be an adult meant having experienced many hardships. With even a glance, people could instantly judge a man's character. Childhood existed only to temper you for adulthood. When you look at me, can you not see the catalog of my experiences even at a glance?
I mean, you have a sword. Maybe? Were you a sword fighter? He could also be Hawaiian and a werewolf. Wait, didn't you tell me before not to make assumptions? Now you just asked me to assume stuff. And you're saying everyone when you were my age did it. And that had to be like in like the 80s. That wasn't even that long ago. I'm ready to give him a piece of my mind for talking like he had to walk 15 miles in the snow to ride a coal train, that he had to shovel coal into himself before climbing up a mountain while fighting ogres to get to school. But now that I finally want to fight, Jigoro is happy to have a good thing going, just continue to ramble about how difficult it was growing up 1 generation ago, twirling his sword like a baton and stopping occasionally to yawn or check the time. The tardiness of his autobiographer is still foremost in his mind. That means the whole time he's been insulting me, he must have been doing it just to pass the time. To add insult to insult, his watch is also really nice. Actually, it kind of is.
When I was your age, kids had responsibilities. Not like today. Sickening. No one thinks about the consequences of their actions anymore. They just do whatever they want, thinking no one will hold them accountable since they are young.
It's odd, that description could fit Shizune and Misha. I thought something similar only yesterday, but it only fits them slightly.
Look at yourself! An amoral, directionless, delinquent glue huffer, with a complete lack of etiquette and absolutely no fashion sense. You are tomorrow's Japan! Disgraceful. Is this the future of this once great country?
I know someone you could get along well with.
Don't interrupt! Who? One of your friends? Why would I want to talk to some awful teenager? Have you even been listening? Why are you so rude, boy? Your attitude is not one that will make you a lot of friends.
Yeah, you would definitely get along with Kenji. I wish he would stop giving me so much advice. Or at least, I wish he would give me advice that he would have the decency to adhere to himself.
Where have you been?
Huh?
Not you, idiot!
Oh, Shizune! Hello! Oops, I didn't notice you there. Shizune smiles and gives a short wave. Her arrival made Jigoro stop talking, so I'm already happy to see her for that reason alone.
Misha and I decided to go into town again. Hisao, I noticed that you were looking at some clothes yesterday in the store window, and I thought I would go back and buy some of them for you. It was supposed to be a surprise, though.
She looks annoyed that the surprise is ruined, even though she ruined it herself. Yeah, she kinda did.
Here you go.
Huh, thanks.
Misha wanted to cut her hair. I told her not to, but she said it was too hot for the summer.
Yeah? I don't know, that makes a lot of sense to me. It must be like an oven under there. I want to see it. Where is Misha anyway? I'm just going to say it now. I'm going to miss Misha's original hairstyle, whatever her new hairstyle is. But I can definitely see why she decided to cut it. Over here! Hi, Shi-chan! Hi, Mr. Shi-chan's father! Hi, Hideaki!
Oh!
That's some pretty short hair, Misha! Not gonna lie, it looks pretty good on her. Unexpectedly good. Misha runs around us once in a wide circle before stopping next to Shizune. For the first time, she doesn't put her hands over my eyes, although now I see she has bags of her own to carry, so it's not like she could have even if she wanted to. Although I am positive she's tried before. Her meticulously styled curls are gone now, in favor of a much shorter, sportier look. Misha looks even happier than usual, probably because she knows she won't have to wake up at the crack of dawn every morning just to do her hair.
What is that haircut? You look like an intern. Your old haircut merely made you look like you were wearing a pink judge wig. Judge the intern is a huge demotion.
Hisao, is he saying something insulting? Tell him not to insult my friends.
I would, but he would probably say something like,
disgraceful!
don't insult my friends.
Which one of you is talking?
Both of us. I agree with her. What do you think, Hee-chan?
You should have kept it like it was.
I don't know. I mean, She looks really good with that hair. She looks really good with short hair.
Aw, Hee-chan, you look disappointed. You don't like it either?
Well, yeah, I admit I kind of like your old haircut more, but I think this one is nice too. It suits you.
Aw, thanks, Hee-chan.
Touching! If you like it so much, maybe you two should trade.
You can't trade a haircut.
What a shame. Even your whole old haircut would suit you much more than your current slacker haircut. Awful.
Okay.
As for you! Actually, this is much less scarred than your other haircut. I like it.
Really? Thanks, Mr. Shizune's dad.
Did she just not call Shizune Shi-chan?
It's Mr. Hakamichi. Talk like a normal person.
I don't understand. Okay. I'll call you Mr. Hakamichi.
It's like speaking to a slide whistle. Contemptible. Where's my biographer? Hideaki!
He starts quietly muttering to himself and walks off. I guess a wannabe cranky old man like Jigoro would at the very least be hesitant to yell at girls. Suddenly he doubles back, unable to resist his urge to have the last word.
And another thing, you do not have to be so loud. I did not like being shouted at.
What? Shouting? I'm not shouting.
I mean, she's naturally loud, so... I can't think of anyone more unqualified to talk about what's garish or to chastise someone on shouting at people. It's like a parade of hypocrisies, and the hits just keep coming. An unusual reaction seems to be taking place. Misha apparently finds Shigoro funny and laughs at pretty much every time he says something, which only makes him berate her harder. I guess this is what they call a vicious circle. Misha's voice is punctuated with explosions of laughter and seems to come from everywhere. On the other hand, Jigoro's is booming and directed like a cannon. In any case, they are both unbelievably loud. The more they talk to each other, the more they seem to play off on each other's volume and get louder.
Ow! My ears hurt!
Why are you shouting? Why are you saying that in all capital letters?
I mean, that would mean you're shouting too! Shizune's hands wrap around my eyes from behind, something I'm so used to Misha doing that for the first time I find myself confused by it, since Misha is right in front of me. Shizune lets go and holds a finger up to her lips.
What a perfect distraction. Now's our opportunity. Let's sneak off. Why do we have to sneak off?
Why not just walk off?
It wouldn't be as fun. It's decided. It's a secret mission. Escape without being detected. Extract Hideaki for bonus points.
Already, she has simplified the situation into a game. Shizune quietly slides away from the scene and begins edging towards the house. I walk towards it normally. I can't find Shizune at first, but eventually she walks into the main part of the house, sipping a glass of ice water and dangling her glasses back and forth from her free hand. She whips them on as soon as she sees me.
You didn't rescue Hideaki. That means you don't get the bonus points. If you were also being great on style, I'd have to deduct points for a boring escape.
It looked like you wanted to talk to me. I didn't know I had to be stylish about it. You know, some say that the most stylish people are the ones that don't try too hard to look cool.
You're really cool.
She says that with that expression. I wonder how is it that I can pick up on her sarcasm so easily. Oh, she was being sarcastic.
Gosh darn, my autism.
And how hard it might have been for her to learn the concept of sarcasm without being able to hear. I can't imagine it. You seem like you're in a good mood. Although I guess it wasn't really a good mood. It's more that she seems very excited.
I'm in a bad mood.
Setting her drink down, Shizune sits down on the couch.
I liked her regular hairstyle so much more. It looks so pretty. It was refined and meticulous. Now she looks too sporty and tomboyish.
call Misha refined and meticulous. That sounds more like you. You should give it a chance. Grow your hair out and make it look like drills. Meh.
Actually, maybe this suits you just fine. Shizune rubs the frame of her glasses roughly, looking annoyed at the implications behind what I just signed her.
That's fine, because I was totally implying that.
She moves a little closer to me when I take a seat. I'm a tomboy?
Well, no one would call you a tomboy, based on appearances. Shizune glares at me unamused. I have to fight to keep a straight face. Maybe you two should straight haircuts anyway.
You sound like my father.
It's true. Shizune giggles noiselessly as she sees my displeasure at the realization. Jumping to her feet, she twirls an invisible sword in her left hand while standing up militarily straight and grimacing. A terrifyingly accurate impression.
Anyway, I don't take advice from anyone who wears a blue sweater with brown pants. Where's your sense of color coordination? And dreadful.
That's so accurate!
But changing my haircut, that may be fun. Wouldn't it be? I want to see how everyone would react.
You must really like playing with people. Sometimes I think a little too much.
No answer. The way she fills with the glasses, brow furrowed,
Tells me that it's because she can't.
it's fun.
Then, with more confidence and while pulling herself closer to me,
It's fun to drag more and more people into my life. Oh, I see.
I wonder if I'm included in that number. I want to ask, but I'm not even sure how I would. Shizune wags a finger preemptively, indicating that she won't be answering such a question anyway. She reaches for her glass, but doesn't seem to realize how far she's managed to inch away from it all this time. To prevent herself from tipping over clumsily, Shizune tries to grab onto me and ends up pulling me on top of her.
Oh.
Okay!
Now kiss!
As I lean over her, I can feel the heat coming off of her body and realize how close we are. I can hear her soft breathing and the slight rustling of her clothes as she momentarily fidgets about. A blush starts to creep onto her cheeks, but her eyes stare straight into mine, dark and unblinking. It's the same look from the first time I saw her, piercing and devoid of any clear emotions. Just waiting to see what will happen next, like the eyes of a cat. It makes me feel uncomfortable being looked at in such a way. This is the first time I've been so close to her for an extended period of time, and the mood is different now. The situation now isn't the same as a passing touching of hands on her, or her and Misha's usual games. Shizune's fingers weave together tentatively, but she makes no move to sign. The look in her eyes isn't just nothing like I thought. It's more like expectation. I wonder if maybe I've been following along the string of her expectations this entire time. Oh. I feel her grabbing me by the shoulders and then gently but firmly pushing me off of her. I roll sideways onto the soft couch and pull myself into a sitting position less than a foot from her. The way I feel, she might as well have thrown me 10 yards. When I think about it, this is perhaps the biggest drawbacks to sign language. She's already said that the fact that you have to sign your own words out with your hands means you have time to reflect on what you say before you say it. But on the other hand, it also means that what would normally just be an awkward silence becomes an unsurmountable wall. I just blurt out something, anything, to try and dispel the tension I'm feeling right now, if I could, but I can't. Ordinarily, I think that what would be normal would be to apologize and maybe leave. But right now, I wonder if that is even applicable. I can't get past how guilty such an action would seem. Like I were just slinking away. Of course, it's not like I can just play it off like nothing happened either. That would just be insulting to both of us. So, as much as I don't want to, I apologize quickly, so quickly I forget to sign it. Then I go back to my room. Oh my. That just happened. Sighing, I let myself fall backwards into bed. I wish I could go to sleep right now, but I feel wide awake. Oh.
Oh, hey, Shizune. I sit up when I hear the door closing and open my eyes to see Shizune sitting in the chair in front of me.
Are you two going to talk about what just happened?
She asks a question that goes right over my head due to my surprise.
It's not a feeling I'm good at concealing, and I don't think it's what she intended. Whatever she was saying, she backs off and doesn't attempt to sign again for a while.
This is the first time I've been in your room. Shizune tenses her fingers and puts on an exaggerated attempt to make herself look embarrassed and modest at the thought.
I can't appreciate the joke, just the fact that she's here has me feeling a bit scattered. Very funny. It isn't even my room. It's your guest room. Besides, you and Misha barged into my room once before.
It seems as if she expects me to say more.
I remember feeling very panicked when they burst into my room, afraid of what conclusions they would jump into seeing the wall of pills lining the place. I don't think Shizune remembers, though.
It made you nervous.
The way she says it so factually stings me. A lot of things make me nervous. You're one of them. Because you're overeager to always get people involved in whatever you're doing. Whether it's joining the student council or even taking a break. Whether they want to or not.
Ooh.
What is she saying?
She signs almost at a crawl, her hands pausing mid-sentence far too much, causing the words to dissipate formlessly before I can even try to understand them.
I try not to let on that this is the case. It seems to work, but she looks a little sad, and I regret that I have nothing to say to snap her from the strangely wistful and distant expression she is wearing. All I can do is wait for her to come out of it.
You're right. I want to drag everyone into my life. But lately, I'm no longer sure if it's the right thing to do.
I enjoyed you taking me to your favorite restaurant the other night.
It's not like that was my favorite restaurant. I have others I like. I might even be able to rank them by number.
Really?
This chair is so hard. I want to sit on the bed.
Motioning her to go ahead, I wait for her to get off the chair and take her place when she does. Though I didn't intend for it to be, she finds it amusing.
Close your eyes.
Why? It's a surprise. Is what I'm thinking is going to happen going to happen? I decide to humor her and close them. I can feel her leaning over me, and suddenly something soft and moist touches my lips.
Oh yeah! They're kissing!
My body tenses up in surprise.
Fortunately, not as awkward a reaction as I could have made.
It was just a quick peck, and I almost think that's the end of it. But then she kisses me again, more deeply this time. Her hands slide onto my shoulders, up to my neck, and then back down again. Then across my shoulders and down my arms. I can feel the weight of her body on my legs, and the eroticism of the situation isn't lost on me. At this point, I'm ready to try and open my eyes just a crack, but as if expecting it, she puts her fingers on my eyelids. Seconds later, something ties my hands together at the wrists, and I panic, not knowing what to make of this. My first thought is she's doing what she's thinking. Even though she can't hear me, I'm sure she gets the gist of it. She won't let go of my hands, tracing her fingers over them from the lines of my palms, over my knuckles, and to my wrists. Hey, what are you doing? What's this? That's pretty much what I'm thinking. Or course, or of course. Of course, with my hands tied behind my back, I might as well be gagged. A part of me can't help but think that this is what she intended.
She's making that face again.
As if reading my thoughts, a mischievous expression lights up her face, but her blushing doesn't fade. In fact, it only deepens when our eyes meet. Embarrassed, she leans deeper into our partial embrace, hiding her face by burying it in my shoulder and neck. Her hair is soft and tickles me, and I let out a laugh knowing that she won't hear me, won't be offended.
Afterwards, I listened to the sound of my heartbeat slowing down until it reaches its normal rhythm. I listened to the sound of Shizune's breathing as it does the same. Her glasses are slightly askew, and this is the first time she wasn't messing around with them in some way. I want to straighten them for her, but the second I try, I'm reminded that I can't. Shizune seems to have forgotten it as well. Instead of getting up, she presses herself against me in the chair to extend her reach. It's almost as if this is the only position she can think to untie my hands from. This is what I think as I feel her unbinding my wrists. However, she doesn't get off me. Her fingers gently stroke against mine, occasionally bending inwards to run over my palms. It's funny, but I feel more connected to Shizune through this simple act than before. Shizune stays pressed against me like this for some time. It's a little uncomfortable, but it makes me feel happy, as if I could stay like this for hours. Somehow I get the feeling that something happened at that moment. Like, you know, something that can't be shown on YouTube.
But anyway, that's going to do it for this episode.
If you like this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you want more of my content. And with that being said, thank you all for watching, and see ya in the next one!